Hi, hey, and hello there. Obihan here, and welcome back to the Comic High Ground. And we're back with another Daredevil review. Dio, say re.
Big Rig. It's your boys, the Big Goose. It's Big Dio and this bitch. Oh, it's cool.
Cap said language.
How y'all guys doing today? Cap did say language, but we're watching Daredevil today, so I don't think I need to watch my language.
Yeah, well, tell that to the captain.
He'll understand. The captain's black now. He'll get it.
Damn, you know what? You're right. You're right about that. He definitely cusses. All right. Yeah, we're on episode 4. We're on episode 4. Wow, but you know what though? They did what 2 episodes the first week, and then we had one
Yeah,
episode the past 2 weeks, and then um, I think
2 episodes this week.
yeah, we getting 2 episodes a week coming up. So yeah, I mean, we getting on along there. This episode is kind of like last episode. There's not a lot that happened. There's a key moment in the last like I'd say 20
15.
minutes. Yeah, last 15, 20 minutes. Um, is that's it? I think there's nothing really else, and I think that's the reason that a lot of people now there has been some complaints. Obviously, we talked about that thing maybe last week, but there has been some complaints. With the series.
Don't like pacing issues.
Yeah. Pacing issues. Boring or whatever. Some a lot of people just want bang, 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 action, 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 and even the original series wasn't per se that. I mean, you had your talking, you had your times when Matt was walking around being Matt and investigating stuff. So that part is pretty much accurate. I mean that there's no difference there. That's pretty much what the show is. But I will say, of course, with them having changed the series up or fixed, I guess you can say what was the series before. It's just some of this stuff is just stuff they have to use because they don't want the footage to go to waste. So again, we've heard that episode 5 forward is pretty much what everybody's been looking for. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing that. But in terms of this episode, I mean, we pick up where we left off. Hector had been killed,
Ganked.
and yeah, in the words of Dean and Sam, yeah. um, should we do? It's not a comic book. Should we do a supernatural review? Oh man, that would be like a
Actually,
retrospective.
honestly, honestly, I had actually been thinking about. It's crazy that you said that. I've actually been thinking about it. I remember I was at work and I was sitting there like just waiting, for customers coming or whatever. And every time I opened or every time I came in, Supernatural was on. So I would just cut Supernatural on. I'd be sitting there watching it, talking about it with my manager. And it's been crossing my mind for a while now. I was like, oh dang, is it time for a Supernatural retro? Is it time for a Supernatural rewatch?
It may be. It may be. That was a long binge when we first watched it because we didn't watch Supernatural when it was first airing. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. We didn't watch it from the very beginning. We caught on. We started watching like season 13 or something like that, and we had to catch up. But we're off topic again. Let us know in the comments if you would like to see us go over or do like a retrospective or whatever, Supernatural. I know it's not comic book, but let's be honest, the stuff that if you've seen Supernatural, the stuff that happened in there, you might as well say it's a comic book property.
I mean, that's how Kripke treated it.
It is, and let's not forget Dean is Batman.
Dean is Batman.
Yeah, so
And Anthony Ackles should definitely play live action Batman. And if he's
yeah.
not live action Batman, he needs to be live action Cyclops.
Well, they might be going for a younger Cyclops. I've heard they're trying to go for a
He needs to
younger
be
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Okay, he needs to be Cyclops. Okay. But yeah, so we we pick up with Matt uh pretty much getting Hector's things, his I guess his costume and the amulet and everything. Um and I'm gonna be honest, last week I had said that Matt was gonna be pissed. I just knew he was gonna be like livid. And even though he may be mad, he's not livid. Like he's a lot more calm to this situation than I thought he would have been. Maybe he's just been mellowed that much by things that have happened to him. But he's a lot more chill than I thought he would be, and he basically has this conversation with the coroner and or whoever it was, and they're kind of telling him about the situation, and then Hector's niece, Angela, shows up. I guess to come get his things or whatever. Well, no, she came. She wants to see him, and Matt was like, "No, you don't need to see him. Just trust me. You need to remember him as he was, not as he is now." And that whole little sequence between her and Matt, she tells him that, look, it doesn't take a genius to know what happened. The cops didn't like him, and he won the case, and now he's gone. So it doesn't take a genius or a super detective to figure that out. And she's like, she wants justice, which is understandable. That was a really powerful scene. The young lady who played Angela, she did a good job, and of course Charlie Cox, you knew he was gonna feed off of that and match her energy.
Camilla, I think Camilla Rodriguez, Jesus. She's the one who played Angela, and I think she did a fantastic job. I mean, honestly, I'm always a little worried seeing like younger actors, show up in these incredibly serious properties, but she did a damn good job. Like she was holding that scene down. Like I'm talking about, I felt her pain in it. She did a great job. Just feel like we should give her flowers because I've never heard of her or I never seen her until this series. So I feel like we should give her flowers.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if they intend to do something with her, as a lot of people are speculating, her being the next White Tiger, she looks a little too young to be doing that. Especially if you're talking about the conversation of the series that he even showed up. I mean, this is Daredevil, and it's violent. She's much too young to take on that role, especially when you see how easily they took Hector out. So they would probably have to transition her over to, I guess, Young Avengers or something like that if they were going to use her in that manner. But
Well, it honestly just depends because if you think about it, I was just thinking about the which story was that? Damn, what story was that? Was that the Chip Zdarsky run where Elektra took on that little girl?
now you would know before I do because I'm not as well versed in Daredevil as you are. But I do
I
remember
think it
this
was the
when she
Chip. I think it
was
was the Chip Zdarsky run when she was Daredevil
okay. Yeah, yeah,
and
that
she
was
saved
just
this
yeah.
girl. Yeah, yeah. Now, if they could technically go that route, but technically that wouldn't just be pulling on the Chip Zdarsky run. They could also that's also technically pulling from the from Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man because he has a little mentee. He has a little person he's teaching,
Yeah,
training in that series.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot. I can't remember her name at this moment, but you know what I'm
Uh,
talking about.
well, I knew
So
her. I knew they called her Jean. That was the civilian name she was going by.
yeah,
Um,
but I can't remember her superhero name.
yeah,
That's what I was talking about.
yeah,
But
and
no, like so they could technically go that route with her, like and have him train uh Angela.
yeah. I mean that's true. It's just that, like I said, they have to be careful how they use her because, like I said, no one wants to see someone that young in a situation where dealing with the violence of the Daredevil series. I guess because you don't want her to get hurt or anything. And like I said, you could go the Hawkeye route because let's not forget Kate Bishop did go toe to toe with Kingpin, if you will, and she walked away from it unscathed for the most part. So um, yeah, it just depends on how they handle it. But she has no reason to go at Kingpin right now. If Kingpin had something to do with the hit on Hector, then of course she would later on. But uh, right now, Kingpin's not on her radar. But yeah, I mean, like I said, after that, Matt went on home. Of course, he was upset and probably borderline close to depressed about the situation. And Kirsten, Kirsten is that her name? Kirsten or Kristen? Um, his attorney partner. I think it's Kirsten. She called him about a client, and Matt really didn't want to do it, but she basically asked him to do her that favor. So he goes to see this client because the client had gotten arrested for shoplifting. He stole some candy corn or something, caramel corn, and they arrested him. And it turns out that this had been like his what was it, like his third or fourth offense or something like that. He had been in jail before. Um, but I don't
Seven
remember.
times. It's like
Yeah, I don't.
seven fucking times.
And to be honest, the way the show approaches, this episode approaches, is they want you to feel sorry for him, but they they go at it all the wrong ways. Because the guy, the moment walks in there, he's like, the moment Matt walks in there, the guy's like, "Oh, a blind lawyer? Are you serious?" And he starts kind of cracking jokes on Matt, but he asks Matt to get them to pretty much let him free. Because Matt is like, "Look, man, you're gonna have to probably have a 30-day sentence." And he's like, "No, you're gonna get me parole or whatever he said. I think it was parole." And Matt's like, "Look, man, you're a repeat offender." And he was like, "Get it done." So Matt pretty much is like, "All right, man." And he goes to talk to the DA, and he kind of
No, he
uses
goes
his.
to Riz the DA.
Oh well, yeah. Sorry, yeah. He goes to Riz the DA, and that is true. Um, and his Riz level was so high that she ends up being talked down to 10 days. So
Wait,
instead of
can we just stop? Can we just stop and mention that in the MCU, Matt Murdock's pool game is fucking untouched.
well, I mean, he did pull. He of course he pulled She Hulk. And now he got.
Electra.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't even count Electra. I was really counting everybody since he I guess quote unquote fully got into the MCU. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Matt's kind of undefeated right now. Yeah, you look how fast he got the therapist. I mean, they had one what brunch or whatever it was, and then one date at night, and that was it. Like that, he was already there. He had one. Like Matt doesn't take L's in his love life. He's undefeated. So
City boy.
yeah. So he gets the sentence down to 10 days, and then and before I get to this part, as he was leaving to go get the sentence, try to get the sentence taken or the parole or whatever, the guy is like, justice is blind, like you or whatever he said. He was making blind jokes, and I'm like, okay, and I'm keeping this in mind. So Matt goes and gets the sentence down to 10 days. As he's leaving, he comes across the cop who brutalized or who arrested Hector and the dirty cop that he had beat up before. And Matt
That he
kind of,
beat the fuck out of.
yeah, and Matt basically he basically questions him and like, I know you had something to do with Hector's killing, but as he interrogates the guy, he finds out that the guy is telling the truth about not having anything to do with it, because the guy's like, I don't know who did it or whatever, and his heartbeat was all normal and stuff. So yeah, Matt didn't have any excuse to beat the crap out of him again, so he kind of goes on about his business. And Matt comes back to the client or whatever, and he's basically like, "Hey, good news, you got 10 days." And the man's like, "Well, I asked for parole. I mean, you yada yada yada, and you were supposed to do this." And Matt was like, "Look, man, you're a repeat offender. You better be glad you got 10 days, because it should have been 30." And then the guy goes on this spiel about how the system has done him, and how he last time he was in jail, he missed his food stamp appointment, and then he was having to eat out of the garbage, and what can happen now, or things of that nature. And that is a prevalent conversation. I mean, it's important to understand that the system does keep people down. It does do people wrong. And everything, and I get that, and I understand the message they were trying to tell. However, it's hard to feel sorry for somebody who was just making fun of their blind lawyer. I don't know whose idea that was in the writing room, but if you were going for sympathy, you kind of jacked it up by having him clown on Matt like that, because forget.
Doesn't matter how true the circumstances are. You're a dickhead.
Yeah, like you're clowning. And I guess they're like, well, Matt is lighthearted, so he really doesn't care. Or Matt gets around his disability, it doesn't bother him. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's like the fact of the matter is, you're clowning on this blind man, and not only clowning on the blind man, you're clowning on the blind man who's supposed to be trying to help you get out of your situation. Honestly, I feel like Matt could have been like, screw you, and went on about his business, but he went on ahead and tried to help him and got the sentence down. Like, and if I'm remembering correctly, he said something along the lines of it being 10 days, and it was really like 7 days because I think they were counting the time that he was in there already. So, like, the dude was still fussing. I understand the system is bad. I get it. But I can't feel sorry for a guy who's basically an a-hole to that nature. It was I was not feeling sorry for him. Even after his speech, I was like, that sucks, but you're an ass. So, uh, try again, writers. I mean, I understand your message, but do it and execute it in a better way. Um, and while this guy was getting arrested, by the way, I did skip over this part, but while the guy was getting arrested, we found out that BB and Kingpin's aide, that guy who kisses his butt all the time, they were at like this party or club or something like that, and he had too many drinks, and he kind of started running his mouth about different stuff, regarding Fisk and everything. So we cut to Fisk, and he has taken his aide and the lady who's his assistant, I think, to this place, and he's like, I want to do this, this, and this, and she's kind of like, yeah, that's not how that works. You gotta go through the red tape, if you will, because as they say, the red tape, you got to go through this. This has to be approved. This has to be approved. You can't just say, I want to do this, and it gets done. She's like, I know you may be used to things being a certain way, but no, you got to go through a whole process with this. And Kingpin, Fisk looks like he's kind of like, damn it, no one tells me what I can't do. It's like, but he held it in. Like, you could. Vincent D'Onofrio he has those expressions when you could tell when he's annoyed. But he had to kind of abide by what they were saying. So they move forward. He goes to his next little meeting. It's like this charity meeting at a school, I believe. And that's where they're singing that we built this city song, and Kingpin's just kind of sitting there looking like, oh my god.
He feels the exact same way I felt listening to this fucking kids.
Yeah, he's just like, oh my god, make this stop. And then again, it was done on purpose because as the audience, I think we're also supposed to be like, oh my god, please hurry up with this scene. But while this scene is going on, we find out that Kingpin, there's a I guess like a hit piece on the mayor, because some stuff leaked about what he was doing, and I can't remember exactly what it was, and it's not too important in the grand scheme of things, but just know that some information leaked, and it was a bad look on Fisk, and it turns out that his little crony, the one who was out with BB, he's the one who leaked the information because he was talking too much while he was drunk. So the lady, she was like, look, keep your mouth shut and I'll take care of this. Because he was like, well, I need to tell him more. She's like, keep your mouth shut and I'll take care of this. Because honestly, she's in her head is like, this is the Kingpin. You're dead. And she's like, I'll kind of take care of him and make it go away. So yeah, Fisk was supposed to have like this meeting, and she ends up canceling it because of said leak. And he goes to this the third meeting, and then I think at this point is when she tells him about the leak or whatever. And so now he's pissed off, and then he has to still sit through this meeting. And of course, he gets to his meeting, and he gets to the podium and everything, and they have this special presentation for him, in which the people from another country, Latvia, I believe, are singing, you guessed it, we built this city.
I'm talking about I was dying. I was dying. I said, because I felt the same way he did. I cannot escape this garbage. Stop it.
Yeah, I was like, how the hell are they playing doing the same song? Like, did y'all coordinate? In Fisk's face again, D'Onofrio did a great job because his face is priceless. priceless as these scenes are going on. But he ends up they cut to him being back in the office, and he's going off on everybody trying to figure out who the leak was, and his little fanboy is like, I'm the one who did it. I'm so sorry, and I shouldn't have did it. I don't deserve this job, and I'm still gonna vote for you, and I still believe in you, and yada yada yada
I'm
yada
gonna
yada.
support you.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna stroke you off while you sleep, like stuff like that.
yeah. And the lady's just kind of sitting here looking like, dude, I was trying to help you, and
But I didn't
so
know you could dick ride this damn hard. Like that's crazy.
so she's
I'm
like,
talking about she looked disgusted from the dick riding that man was doing.
yeah, she's like, okay. And Fisk, of course, he has the same type of ego as our president right now, basically. So he's just like, you know what?
You
I'm gonna let
glazed
you
me
off.
so hard, son. I'm gonna let you pass.
Yeah, he's like, but don't do it again, or that'll be the end of you. And that's kind of how they leave it. Like, and anybody with any sense knows what that means. So now, if that foolish fanboy of his knows what it means, I don't know. The lady, she definitely knows what it means, but he was just like, oh, I don't really deserve this. And then he was like, are you trying to talk your way out of your job? And he's like, like even Fisk at that point was like, dude, chill. I gave
Stop
you
the
another
glaze.
chance. You're doing too much. So, and we did kind of jump over Fisk and Vanessa's other therapy session. It wasn't too important
It
because
didn't
all
matter.
yeah,
It didn't matter.
it
The only
didn't.
thing we found out is that they supposedly don't know where the nigga that smashed his wife is. That's all we don't know.
Yeah, it's not that important in the grand scheme of things. So we have Matt again now because he's already gotten the situation done with his client, and he is now on the search doing his investigative work for what happened with Hector. So now we actually get to the important part of the episode because he goes to the area where it happened, and he ends up finding the bullet casing because it had slid down into like this little almost like a little sewage drain thing or whatever, and he grabs it and feels that they have the Punisher logo on the bullet casing, and that threw me out because I was like, wow, y'all are really going like way into this Punisher thing, huh? You like you're just going for it. But yeah, Matt tracks down where well, I guess I shouldn't say tracks down. He apparently knew where he was. He goes and finds Frank. He goes into like this little hideout Frank has, and as he's walking around there, Frank ends up attacking him, and Matt's like, yo, hey, it's me, chill. And Frank has like this hatchet or whatever. He sees that it's Matt, and he kind of sticks the hatchet into the wall. And so this is the best part of the whole episode because they have this nice talk. I don't want to call it a heart to heart, but it's I guess you could say that they had this nice talk, and Matt is asking him about the bullet casing and everything, and turns out Frank already knows about the police. I don't know if he called them fanboy police or whatever he called them.
Fanboys.
Yeah,
Fanboys. That's what he called them.
yeah, and which also surprises me still because I'm surprised he's not a little more agitated about them using his logo.
But
Um,
I guess Frank doesn't necessarily fucking care about that. I guess Frank really only just cares about doing what he wants to do and as long as his job gets done, he doesn't necessarily care.
yeah, so
Which isn't
they
out of the Punisher's range. Like,
yeah. So they of course he doesn't. I don't think he's also fully aware of what they're doing in his image either though, because like I said, the Hector case, even though he clearly wasn't following it like that, I don't think Frank would be cool with them killing an innocent man in his image. So again, he doesn't. I don't think he knows the fullness of the situation, but he's not really paying attention to it either. So Matt basically is trying to get Frank to be, I guess, more involved. But Frank says Matt wants him to give him the okay to go kill somebody. That's basically what he is to go kill somebody or to don the Daredevil outfit. And Frank is like, I mean, yeah, you don't need my approval to do that. Just go do it. It's just like we know, he's basically like, you've been neutered for the past year, right? And I
He
understand.
said he basically told him ever since your buddy died,
Yeah,
you you ain't did nothing.
yeah,
You went
and
soft.
yeah, and he's like, you won't even say his name, and Matt's he's it's true. He hadn't said his name since. I don't think he had said his name too much since the first episode. He may have said it once
I
or
don't think he
twice.
said it at all. I don't,
Yeah,
but that's what I'm trying to remember. Like I think the only time I don't even know if he said his name when he was talking to Karen. Like I don't I don't think he said it at all.
yeah, and that I think is kind of telling in itself. But um, yeah, he they had this really powerful conversation. And Frank was basically kind of like, you didn't do anything with Bullseye. You got him in jail. He's eating 3 meals a day and off of taxpayers' money and everything. And he's like, Matt's like, he got life. And
He got life.
yeah, and then Punisher has his, or Frank has his really awesome comeback. He was like, well, did Foggy get life too? And again, he just keeps on egging him, and then finally Matt hits Frank, and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And Frank is like, for what, dude? Like, why are you sorry? Because Frank ate that hit. Like,
Ate it like he didn't even touch it, man.
like it didn't phase him at all. But it's crazy that Frank is like the counsel that Matt needs right now. But he's the one who is kind of putting Matt, and I guess in the right mindset again. Because, like I said, they had this back and forth conversation. Frank's like, nah, I'm not helping you, dude. You can get your ass on out of here. And so, again, Matt leaves, and he goes home, and his new girlfriend's waiting on him. Like, I'm bad with names. What's her name? What's the therapist's name again?
God damn it. Is it Heather?
Heather, yeah. Heather's there
Heather
waiting on
Glenn.
him.
Heather Glenn.
Yeah, Heather's there waiting on him, and Matt gets to have some coffee, and
Good old coffee.
and meanwhile, Fisk has gone to his little, I guess, his own secret little place,
His little
and
bunker.
his little bunker, and it's cool because you get this dual scene. And, like, Matt has gotten up out of bed, he's going up to his rooftop, and Fisk is going down to his bunker. And you see the painting, the white painting that Fisk always looks at. It even has the blood stain on it
The
from
rabbit in the snowstorm.
yeah. It even has the blood stain on it from what was that, season 3 when Matt was beating him up and the blood got on there.
I beat you.
Yeah, that part. They have that painting there, and Matt goes up there and he's like looking at all his different Daredevil equipment and everything, his cows, and he pulls out his weapons and starts training on the rooftops. Yeah, and starts kind of like practicing and training on the rooftop. And then Fisk is like eating this meal, which is definitely not part of his diet. And he's like,
He's got the full eggs back. He's
yeah,
not eating egg whites. He's got the sausage on there. I
yeah,
forgot what noodles and shit he had on there, but that boy was eating good.
yeah, and he's eating, and then this guy is like, let me out, or let me go, Fisk, or whatever. Let me go, please. And of course we find out, which I don't think anybody was surprised by this scene, but we find out that he has Adam locked up in this bunker. And obviously that's why I don't know if we mentioned it, but Fisk's knuckles have been like bruised and bloody a little bit the week, I think last week's episode. So of course that means Fisk has pretty much been going down there beating the crap out of Adam while he's been down there.
I can't blame him.
Oh
I
no,
can't blame
yeah,
him.
yeah, no. I think it's pretty safe to say Adam's not making it out of the season. But yeah. So at this point, again, is really, I think, hit full circle now. Like you said last week that Matt and Fisk have been like slowly getting back to their old ways. Matt being Daredevil, Fisk being Kingpin. Yeah, because it never left. They just put it on hold. And they tried to push it, but that's inherently who they are.
honestly, like, and I didn't even think about it until you just said it. Like, but the dichotomy of after that conversation with Punisher or with Frank, Matt leaves and he ascends his building to become Daredevil as Fisk descends to go back to being the Kingpin, because that's it. In all reality, that's exactly what it is. It's a dichotomy. Matt ascends back to who he was, who he should have been, and Fisk divulges and deteriorates back into who he was beforehand. I
Right.
really feel like that's a nice little cool little thing. And I know I
Yeah.
brought it up last video, I believe, like about the dichotomy of them becoming who they really are, or them getting back to who they truly are, and you can't stop who you are no matter how hard you try. And I really feel like the ending to the episode was worth it. Like,
Yeah.
it was worth
Yeah.
it. I knew Adam bitch ass was down there. I
Oh
knew he
yeah,
was
we
down
knew.
there.
Yeah, we knew that. Yeah, that was no surprise at all. But then and then the episode is crazy because the episode blacks out after after Matt after that sequence with Matt and Fisk, and I was kind of looking at it. I was like, that's not how they're closing the episode out, is it? And then of course it wasn't, because we see Muse, and Muse has captured this guy or kidnapped this guy, and then he takes him to his little hideout, and you see like people strung up in the air and everything from the ceiling, and he takes his little thing and he stabs it into the guy's leg, and the guy's all screaming and stuff. And of course, in the comics, Muse uses people's blood as his paint. So that's what he's doing. He's basically draining the guy's blood so he can use it as his paint. And that's pretty much where the episode goes off. So we obviously still haven't had a meeting with Matt and Muse, and I'm wondering how that's gonna go, honestly, because Muse is literally not on Matt's radar at all. Like they haven't
But I
even.
think I think that was the purpose of that scene in what was it, episode 2? Where we saw that skinny white dude or whatever going up to Heather, having her sign that book.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Muse.
No, that's
And
that's definitely Muse. Yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. And like I'm pretty sure like him going to see Heather is going to set up something in the future,
yeah.
which is going to be how Muse actually gets on his radar for real and actually becomes like his main priority.
Oh yeah, it is. It's just funny that like Muse, because Muse has been obviously kidnapping people and stuff for a while now, but there's been no mention of it, and I guess that just speaks to the gravity of the fact that Fisk has become mayor, and then the Hector case is like that was the both of those things are like such momentous things going on at the same time, that stuff like Muse kidnapping people and everything, it just went under the radar. So I'm assuming that we're gonna start seeing Muse get on Matt's radar probably in the next
In
new
the next two
episodes.
episodes,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. And again, we got, was it this episode 5 now? It's about 9 episodes in the season, so I guess the question now is, are they gonna have enough time to deal with Muse? Because you waited to basically halfway through the season to make him a priority. So I wonder how they're gonna handle that. Because from that standpoint, I'm wondering if it might feel like two different seasons, because you're dealing with, it's like two different things, two different major things going on. So we'll have to see how they handle that too. But
Uh, I honestly think Muse is probably just going to be the rest of the season. I think whatever he's going to be or whatever he's been doing is going to tie into whatever the hell is going on with Fisk, and
yeah,
it's going to be something like connecting the two.
yeah,
And I feel like Muse will be our villain for like the season. Like he will be our superpower baddie. But I'm still standing by the my Vanessa theory, in thinking that Vanessa is really the one behind everything that started this. So like Foggy
yeah.
being killed, I still believe that's Vanessa.
I think that also though, the therapist asked in that session, is Vanessa, basically she was asking if Vanessa was in danger or scared of Fisk or anything, and Vanessa confidently said that Fisk isn't gonna hurt her. Um, I think that that's a red herring. I think that Fisk can be pushed hard enough to even hurt Vanessa at this point. So, because they made a point of saying that she's like, he's not gonna hurt me, and that's true. Typically, from up until this point, Fisk would never hurt her, but she has never done what she's done to Fisk before now. So it depends on how hard she pushes, because not only did she do that, but she's kind of undermining him by, again, doing kingpin things behind his back without telling him, and then he's finding out afterwards, and that's kind of pissing him off. So we'll see. Like I said, this I think maybe it will probably be the first time Fisk has ever done anything to Vanessa, and he might not do nothing, but I can see that being a possibility too, given if you push him enough.
I'm gonna say this is Wilson Fisk we're talking about.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's all we got for this week's episode. Again, not much going on, but we'll definitely be looking forward to episodes 5 and 6, because again, that's from what I'm hearing, that's when things are supposed to really pick up. So, drop a comment to let us know what you thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you think it was slow too? Obviously, I think we can all agree that the Punisher section, the little 15 minutes of Punisher, was probably the best part of the episode. Did you want to see Frank in action? Because I've seen some people say that I want to see Frank in action, but it's like his purpose was to talk to Matt. Obviously, we'll see Frank again sooner than later, actually, because he has his own little special coming. So. Yeah. Hit that like button. Like I said, drop a comment.
Oh, hold up, hold on. Dio's question of the day. Do y'all want to see a Supernatural retrospective? I know we brought it up earlier. It has nothing to do with this series, but hey, it's our question of the day. Do y'all want to see us do a retrospective for Supernatural? We love Sam and Dean. You know, we are Sam and Dean. So just let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely let us know that. Because Supernatural doesn't get enough attention or credit or whatever, and we're always trying to kind of get people on the Supernatural bandwagon, because, like I said, the show's been off since 2020, I believe. But it was such an awesome show, and I do wish we could get it back. I don't know, talk some movies and specials and all that. Who knows what they'll do? I think it'll come back in some way at some point, but. Yeah, like I said, with that said, subscribe. I kind of went on this little thing last week, but please subscribe. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Hopefully sooner than that. About a little more than halfway there. So yeah, please subscribe.
Press goes a long way, you guys. I really appreciate you.
Right. Yeah, please subscribe, and remember, we have the high ground. Catch you later.
Deuces. Ooses.